Hello everybody. Very spontaneous stream. Very spontaneous. But I figured it's been a while and I've just been feeling the itch today to work a little bit on Smellius. Yeah, that's me. Stream is working. So that is what we will be doing. I don't have all that much preparation here. I literally just I figured, I wanted to work on it, and I figured it'd be easier if I have an audience, especially since I recall some people saying they like learning from this. So what is our goal today? It is rather simple. I want to try getting some work on Chapter 8 going. I have not touched this chapter at all, I think. I do have some ideas for it already. So I will take a look at that. I do probably want to change the game speed again. I don't know why it was set to solo. I think I may be doing some animation testing earlier. Hello, Azafure! So yeah, let me double check my notes on what we wanted to do for the chapter. I still mostly remember what I wanted to do, but sometimes you do forget a couple of things, so let's take a look at that. Where is it? Chapter 8. So I will just copy this in to my notes, and that way I can show it to you quite easily. So this is the text I wrote down. This chapter is... there we go. This chapter will be somewhat more difficult. Instead of some random general attacking you, the Black Knight will present Ike with his first challenge to try to groom him into becoming stronger than even Gryle, to prepare for their ultimate duel later on. The Black Knight will be watching from the bottom and eliminate anyone who dares get in his attack range. Meanwhile, the original chapter boss will attack you from the right side, and Ileana, forced to fight against her will be the boss on the left side. If enough enemies have been defeated, the chapter will end. Should the player not kill at least one unit every turn, the Black Knight will move one step closer towards the seize point and attack anyone in attack range. That is the general gist of my idea for that chapter. Hello, Buster! Got this on as background noise while I'm working on my own campaign sheets. Oh, nice. Lamau grooming. Well, grooming in the sense of he's gonna try to turn him into a strong fighter against his will, essentially. Not meant in a weirdo, well, it's still pretty weird, but not meant in a sexual way, which is how it is mostly understood today. So, what does this mean concretely? First of all, the very first thing we gotta do, we do have a couple more characters, and I do want the player to be able to use all their characters here. So we will put in 4 more slots here. Because, I don't know, I feel like this is around the time where you should still be able to have most of your units contribute, or pretty much every one of your units contribute, and this chapter will be made a little bit more difficult. We do also now have the ability to open up to change map objects. I'll have to take a look at how much exactly we can do with that. I'm also considering maybe, because you do get the base at this point, to give the player the ability to... Oh wait, you don't have any base conversations yet though, right? Well, maybe I'll just make an event at the start that gets you a light rune. With the idea being that... yes, leave base. That maybe I'm gonna open up both of these, so this will be 2 tiles, and this will be 2 tiles, and then this one can stay a 1-tile choke, but you'll have Cavaliers here, I think that's fine. With the idea being, okay, this is only 1 tile, but they have Kanto, so you still gotta be pretty careful here. These will be 2-tile chokes, and then the idea is you focus on one side, and place down a light rune on the other side. So, yeah, you're focusing on one side, you're kinda stringing by a defense on the other side and hoping it'll work out. I think that sounds like a pretty good idea. I'd still need some help on figuring out the map changes here, but I think overall that's probably not a bad idea. I also gotta check out Ilyana, because my idea for her was, as I said, she's forced to fight against her will, which makes her a boss, and I don't think you can recruit her this chapter. I think it will be after the chapter. Either that, or I do just still make her recruitable, but still have her work as kind of a boss. Yo, Azure Ignatius. I'm just currently kind of theory crafting a little bit more what I want to do. And it's been quite a while since I worked on anything Tellius related, like properly on the game's code. But I just felt the itch today. So, first off, I gotta remember... Oh. Yeah, we have four slots here. I gotta remember how I even do this. Oh, I do need to remember. Where was it? I gotta open up Paragon, of course. Good. Sudo... Paragon. There we go. Shower patch. Here we have it. Hello, Lysel. So, it's been so long. I'll have to take a look at the previous maps to even remember how I added more deployment slots. Kilroy. Yeah, I still have the Japanese names in here. I do think that I'm probably not gonna keep that, because I'm not entirely happy with it. I gotta remember, which one do I have to do? Yeah, you just have to change the comment file. Lyncha's already here? Yeah, you can take a look in the video description. There is a link to my game dev server, and in there you will find a lot of information about this hack, playable characters, the general vision for the project. We also have a supports written, and I do want to show those off, because they are pretty impressive. We have right here, these are the supports that are already written. The blue ones are original supports, we didn't touch those, I don't want to change those, because there's no reason to. The green ones are fully written supports, completely written, all the text. Yellow ones are the ones that I would like to have. As you can see, it's not many of them. And then there's like a couple of free slots. There is, like, I'm pretty sure gameplay-wise there isn't a limit to supports, but the overlay will stop working at 8 supports. Anything past that you literally can't see. You can select them, but you can't see them, so it's a bit counterintuitive for the player. So currently we have the support cap of 8, and if we're able to change the UI to be able to show you more than 9, or more than 8 rather, then we may add 8. But currently almost every single character in the game has 8 support partners. And the ones who don't have 7. This includes the new characters that I've added, like Nedata, Heather, Vika, Voluk, Nealucci, Oliver, Homasa, Tominami, Petrine, Ludwig, Bertram, Sigrun, and Anna. Which are, remember, I have the philosophy, no new characters. Every character in this hack has to exist in the universe already. No OCs. I may write Marshall Lynch's support maybe sometime, but I don't have no passion for Tellius. But look, all of these supports you see here are written by one person. They were all written by Vigilante, who has been a huge help for this project. So huge shoutouts to him. Would not be possible without him. He's written, like, I think it's legit over 50 supports for this, and all in the span of like a couple of months. It's insane. And now we will be needing some help, ideally, with formatting these to work in, to actually work in game. They do have a couple special formatting rules that we need to comply by to make them work. So we're slowly gunning towards that and like filling out the last few empty slots. Yeah, huge shout out to Vigilante. It's pretty much only just due to him. No Shadow Lord indeed. So, I gotta remember. So, I do remember what I have to do is I have to change the unknown 3 data, I'm pretty sure, to 41, or was it 49 was I think force deployed. But these stats don't really matter, it's mainly the common file that I need to edit, and in that case I can leave it at 42. Other than Ike, who has a special data. And then their level and stuff doesn't matter here either, so we're just gonna add them to common. Let's see, we already did that map last time, and then we have this map. There we go, common. Let's see, Liana. I think we will just disable all of these for now, because see, this is mostly just event stuff. These are the actual deployment slots you'll have. And we're just gonna add spawns. We're gonna copy the data of YU, of Mia over here. I think we're gonna have 1 slot here. Remember, we need 3, 4. Just gonna copy those over. Gonna put 2 units in the fronts. And then maybe 1 here, and the last one we can have right there. Actually, that does look a bit weird. Maybe something like that. And then I gotta remember one of them was Erincia. Which one did I use for her? Erincia Queen was her idea. Yeah, that's what it was. Elincia has a special one, so I wanted to make sure I got that one right. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so we will change this one to Elincia, and we don't need to change her class necessarily, but I will just change the class out of being more easily able to tell what character it is on this little map here. I've read a bunch when I was at my practice in college. Yeah, they're pretty good. If you have any feedback on them, be sure to let us know, because it is pretty nice to get some feedback on it. So, boy, yeah. The next one was Lofa, which is Rolf. Archer. Then... thinking, wasn't there another character here that's new? Elincia? I guess you always had to just drop 1 character here, didn't you? Let me double check that. I could have sworn you were always able to pick everybody here. Maybe I'm misremembering. Let me check the wiki. 9 chapters. Despair and Hope here, chapter 8. You normally have Ike, Titania, Soren, Oscar Boyd, Riz. Oh right, you normally only get Mist later on as well. So it is just legit these 4 units. I see. So that was correct. You lose Gatri and Shannon at this point. So, yeah. Tiamat is the Dragonland and Andron Saga. Yeah, it's also her Japanese names. So I originally wanted to just use the Japanese names for everything, but I do think some of them sound a bit weird, so maybe I'll just decide which ones sound cool and pick those. We can always change it up later. But I will probably... Or another thing I was thinking of is I will just use the EU... the EU names or the US names, and then make a version that has the Japanese names. I do think some of them are pretty fun, like Alia is her German name. I do think that one is pretty nice. But we'll see. For now, I will keep the Japanese names because these are usually the same as the internal names, so it's just easier to remember which characters, which is their ID. What are the odds you can up deployment on this slot? Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. I was just looking at which characters I needed to up it for. Because we have, that's Rolf. Then we have, Mist. I'm pretty sure she's still just Mist. And let's give her a staff icon, priest, or rather cleric. And then the last one was Soph. We'll make him a thief. Alright. Actual YU, that's okay. See, this would fit now. And then this is Riz. Okay. So we just added these 4 characters to the map. Ideally, let me close it up. Save this one. And then double check if it worked. For those unaware, these streams are usually a bit more chill than my other ones. I'm just kind of, you know, doing a bit of work that I would be doing anyways. Oh, you do have info. So I could tie the light rune to here. Oh, ATM! My man! Yeah, see? It worked just fine. We now have the new deployment slots. I gotta remember my... Are my controls wrong? Huh? Wait. No? Oh, I guess I'm just retarded. Yeah. So we have added all the new characters that should be available here. And they should be able to... Oh. Somebody here is in the wrong... Oh, I think Titania's in the wrong position. Hacking streams return. Yeah, AT machine, while you're here, ATM machine. I have 2 changes I was considering for the map. That are map object changes. My idea was I open up this tile right here and this tile right here. If possible, I'm not sure actually, the stairs may be an issue. Where I essentially was thinking I make these 2 tile choke points and then I give the player a pair of light runes, and the idea is you focus on one front and put on at least one light rune on one side, and then when you're kind of done with one side, then you focus on the other side. And I can briefly, since some new people joined in, this is the idea for the chapter. Chapter will be somewhat more difficult. Instead of some random general attacking you, the Black Knight will present Ike with his first challenge to try to groom him into becoming stronger than even Grail, to prepare him for their ultimate duel later on. The Black Knight will be watching from the bottom and eliminate anyone who dares get in his attack range. Meanwhile, the original chapter boss will attack you from the right side, and Ileana, forced to fight against her will be the boss on the left side. If enough enemies have been defeated, the chapter will end. Should the player not kill at least 1 unit every turn, the Black Knight will move 1 step closer towards the seize point and attack anyone in range. How long do light runes last? I'm pretty sure it's 5 chapters. So that is the idea for the chapter, and I think I need to, since you also just have more units to play around with, I need to kind of open this up and give the players some incentive to just not... any ideas for how to implement light runes? Are they not a thing in the game already? I thought they were. Or is it only FE10? Shit, I think you're right. Ooh, that will of course make this more difficult. Here's my question. Can you potentially make an event that hides map objects? Kind of like how it works for chests? Backporting maybe? No, I cannot make them activatable. What I could do is... Maybe a barrel or something. I'm not sure what you could use to block it off. Because Tellius also doesn't have destroyable walls. It does have gates though. Any clue on story justification for obtaining the runes? Perhaps Alincha got some before fleeing, or maybe Sophorus Titania have some? No, it's very simple. You just find a pair here in this castle while you're on the run. Or maybe Soren has some stacked up. I'm not sure. Or well, it wouldn't be light runes at this point since we can't use those. I mean, we'd have to take a look at what we could use, because then the idea could be maybe you have a event that plays every 2 turns, let's say, or when you move a character next to them, that allows you to put the barrel on the other side, or whatever it may be. And then I'm not sure if we can change the stairs here, because I think they're a ground texture, not a map object. So I don't think we can change these. So what we'd have to do is not make this one up and this one down. We'd probably just have to move this entire contraption 1 tile down. Or maybe we can block this one off a bit more. I'm not sure. Soph could bring up with Ike how he could strike a weak point of the ruins for rubble to act as temporary barriers. That can work, yeah. But it would... yeah, and I guess I can do that even with an event. I don't even need HP on the tiles. In fact, I could work a little bit more with that and even say, like, hey, if an enemy moves... like, you get specific saboteur enemies, which, like, say, move right here. And if they land on this spot, they destroy the wall. Though, again, I'm not sure if this works with the elevation, because I think the elevation here is higher, so I wouldn't be able to really do it. Yeah, the elevation is higher. Because the issue with this map normally is you can very, very easily just cheese it by... because the units are not strong enough to really blast through you. And just having 3 little choke points here at the start is not really interesting. Maybe I will make the requirement... first it starts off with you need to kill an enemy unit every turn. Maybe... actually, let's say you need to kill 2 enemy units every turn. Or maybe just specific, like, mini commanders? I'm not sure. That, like, I want to give the players some sort of incentive from the Black Knight to keep moving and not just hole up here. And I guess I could have, like, slightly stronger generics here, which kind of act as mini commanders, or squad commanders. And if you do a turn without killing one of those, then the Burger King will move forward. And then... yeah. Something like that. Because we need to really get the idea in here before we can make any concrete changes. I do kind of like the commander idea, because the other idea was just you need to kill an enemy every turn to make sure he doesn't move. And then maybe you eventually need to kill Kamura to make sure, by like, let's say turn 6 or something. And before, like, until you do, he will move every turn. And my idea was as well, not that you need to just defend for 8 turns, but that it's kind of like the maps in Radiant Dawn, a couple of them, where it counts how many units you have killed, and you need to kill a specific amount of units to be able to finish the map. So you cannot just defend it out. You legitimately need to defeat a sizable amount of the enemies. Though I would have to check if that even is a thing in Path of Radiance's code, in the scripts. Let me think. Guys, do you remember, is there anything in Path of Radiance that checks for the amount of enemies killed? Wait, isn't that the... Doesn't it count the amount of wins you have? Then I'm not sure if it checks for that in the script. It's been so long since I looked at it, so I really gotta rethink it and get back into it. The goose kills for later maps. Isn't there a chapter with bishops and temple? That one just looks for if you've killed one of them. I'm not sure it looks for the amount of units killed. Oh, bonus EXP. Oh. Oh, maybe. Actually, that's a good point. Which map is the port map? Prisoner release. Blood Runs Red, chapter 11. Okay. That one doesn't work? That is concerning. Why does chapter 11 not work? Found opcode for SDMT outside of match context. I didn't know that. That is bad. I'm gonna have to fix that relatively soon. Feral Frontier. Let me check which one that was. Chapter 15. Enemy units survive. Yeah, okay, okay, you're right. So that's 15. Let's check this one out then. I think this... Yeah, I'll have to go to 16. This one should be the correct one, right? You? Yeah, boots. Boots. Yeah, these are all the sand events. Oh, interesting. It's not the class having a skill or something, the thief class, that allows you to find the hidden gem or hidden items with 100% chance. It is just specifically looking for the class of thieves. Like by name. And then you get the item. Oh, I didn't know that. Let me put on this. Yeah. Okay. It's the map opening. It's probably somewhere after the opening. Change ring. That's that whole event. Boss battle talk. Battle convos. GF complete. Okay, this is the completion event. Rotations. MS Egg Lemon. Pinging in the dev Discord of my pitch on how to handle map objectives and centers. I'm now at Berwick Saga Chapter 9, that game is great. Oh, it sure is, TZ, I'm glad you're trying it out. Could be several mini objectives, including recruit Ilyana, defeat X-foes, defeat generic squad leader and A spot. Defeat generic squad leader and B spot. Survive X amount of turns. And once enough of them, say 3 to 4, have been completed, Black Knight is satisfied for now and commands Kimura to charge the player. And Kimura's death becomes a win condition. That could be one way of doing it, yeah. I like that idea, actually. Let's, let me copy that and add that to my little notepad here. So that is, I think, what we will try to do. I really like that idea. It is, it leaves some room for error, and if you're not able to do certain things, you can still beat it. I do kind of like the idea, though, that if you don't do something every couple of turns, the Black Knight will move forward. Like, or maybe the Black Knight moves one tile forward, but then if you do fulfill one of the objectives, then he stops for 2 turns. It's worse in numbers, they mean something. Yeah. Bonus. See, it's been so long. The bonus EXP stuff should be somewhere in here. I just really don't remember where it is. Event. It's all the event. It's a pre-chapter event, I think. Let me just check the registers here. Translate. English. So, this is the first one. This is Swanvalk Companion. So this is when Stefan gets recruited, I think. Swanvalk's Face Off. Swanvalk Event. Boss Battle Conversation. Oh, these are all boss battle conversations. Defeated Mawarium in combat. Ike defeated Mawarium. The death of the PLA soldiers. Oh, it took Chinese for that. I don't think that is the... Lagoose Liberation Army death. Yeah, PLA soldiers. Yeah, I put it on detect language, so I guess this is the one that we need to check for. Search. PID 16 Liberation, so it checks if they have died. 100. Hold on, so... check this out. Wouldn't know how it calculates the bonus XP, but it could be a start of tracking number of specific enemies slain. Something like that, yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. So, PID is the player ID, so it specifically looks if this player ID is there? It just calls for the ID. And then this is the same text as above, so it sets that one. And then in here it calls, it says V0 is 300. Hallo, Real-Typ. Ah, okay. I think I see it. So, it says here, I think, 300 is the value of bonus EXP you get, maybe? How much do you get? Oh, this is if all enemies except Moarim survive, you get 300. So this is for that one. Make it a little bit louder. There we go. So this is if all enemies except Moarim survive. Then you get the 300 bonus EXP here. So it checks if one of them died, I guess. And then, hold on. Here it again checks for 40. I think these are all the Bonus XP. Yeah, 40 is the amount of bonus XP you get per unit that survives. So this should be the event that asks that. In fact, let me just like do something like this so I more easily remember it. BXP per unit alive. And we do the same thing here. BXP if all units other than Noir survive. For all enemies per enemy unit alive. And I think this is the turn one. Past or future Dawnlot will be very happy about these notes, so I'm making them now. Clear chapter in 7 turns or less. Yeah. And these are the values for normal mode. I'm not quite sure where the values for different modes are stored. But it all seems to be connected with the MS thing here. Achieve set MS. Wasn't there a something in here that was MS? I remember that from somewhere. Question, Mr. Donald. When you publish this online, do you plan on having a full list of changes? Ooh, good question. Completely full comprehensive list? Probably not, because it would just be too much to count. What I can say is there will be completely changes to completely new supports. There will be, the maps will have changed dialogue and changed gameplay. You will have new characters. I can just generally note down the features of the hack when it's done. But noting down every single change, it would be way too many changes. MS, where was MS? MC, ML... There was some value I saw before that was MS. So map stands for, or M stands for map, and then T here, MT would be terrain. Let's go back to chapters. Map chapter title, I think. Map win, map lose. Is it maybe in the map itself? Somewhere? M-type... I mean, I'm not sure if this is for every map, but looking at this, looking at the values here, you can see it only notes down the values for normal mode. And then what it does is it gives you plus 50% on easy mode and minus 50% on maniac mode. Or normal difficult here. So, in other words, it doesn't really check for... I think it doesn't, like, have concrete different values for every difficulty. I think it just does a flat check somewhere, maybe it's hard-coded or something, that just says, if you're playing easy mode, then you just get 50% more. It just adds plus 50% on it. And then Maniac mode for us right now is not relevant because we're playing the EU version and it shouldn't have Maniac mode in here. So, yeah, okay. And easy mode is just EU Maniac mode, so they just reuse the same code. In the Japanese version, if you're playing Maniac mode, you have minus 50%. And in the Western releases, if you're playing Maniac mode, aka easy mode, which is just a renamed Maniac mode, you get plus 50. So I'm pretty sure we can ignore these values and just have to look at the normal difficult values. And don't need to worry about difficulty changes there. So this should still then be the correct code per unit alive. So it says 40 here, so right here it says variable 0 is... I can rename these, right? I keep forgetting, but I'm pretty sure I can rename these. Because I know Sal just uses V0, V1, V2 and stuff. I really found that confusing, and I have a much easier time just naming these. So I think that is what I will do. We will just change V0 to V... Actually, let me read through it first. So these are the points, and then it takes 40... I think multiplied equals BM. Battle map. It checks the battle map. Get value 4 times 4. If V0 is higher than... I genuinely have no idea where this is called though. Wait, achieve. Wait, is this maybe in the startup or in the global file? Let me check for that here. We may get some clues as to that. Copy. Let's search for it here. No, no results. What about the ending? No results here either. What about chapter 0? I think this is the debug chapter, right? No, still no results. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think I remember what the issue is. The bonus EXP exact mechanics are in main doll, like the monk count. I see. Or is it though? Because what I was thinking about right now is if we go to the files, and you do remember in files here we had... It was some weird case where you have the script files, which are all of these here, but these ones don't actually do anything. And you have to go to, I think it was system. And in here you have an additional scripts folder. And in here you have the actual startup file. I think that's what it was, right? So let me check out what happened to Lumina. Let me open up Lumina. Oh, I hope my Lutris is not bugged. I think it was bugged last time I used it. Ooh, that might be an issue. It might be an issue, yeah. It's not working. I think I have to reinstall that whole thing. Yeah. Encountered an error. I don't know how I broke it, but I certainly did break Lutris, so I will not be able to use Lumina this stream. That makes it more difficult to check, I guess. You can just write custom code that counts people dying by using GV global variables. See, the eventing is the bane of my existence. The eventing is the bane of my existence. I wanted to know if it's even possible. If you say it's possible, then I will just trust you on that. And we will go back to chapter 8. Is it 8? No, that was the last one, right? Yeah, because this is already edited. It's chapter 9 that I need to edit. Merchant, low file void. Yeah, Erlace, yeah, this is the one that we're editing. So I think I'll just leave the eventing for another day where I can maybe take a look at it with ATM. But and we'll just try to make it with the idea that we will be able to check for it at a later date. And just add stuff to the map as is. Or actually... no, that would still look weird. What I could still technically do is I could maybe... do you think there's a way to assign door HP to an other map object? Because doors are just map objects as well, right? What if we assign map door or door HP to this tile, and then when it breaks, we do a map object change to hide this wall tile. Or maybe hide these three, and then the two on the right just get turned into these like circular ones, so it doesn't look as weird. Because I'm pretty sure they don't have textures in between them. Because then we could legit have like breakable walls. That being said, I don't think enemies break walls, so I guess I can just leave that idea right there. Or I guess I can just... I don't even need to expand the map. I can just do the ideas without any map changes, probably. Okay, so in that case, let me just take my ideas onto my other screen. Always on top. We will try to think about how we want to do this. So... open up the map here. Hard. Move this one. That's Ileana. These are all the reinforcements. We can just leave those be for now. First here. So I gotta check how strong these guys are. Yeah, these guys are relatively weak. We should probably designate two smaller commanders then. Are you on Mac OS? No, I'm on Linux. I use Pop OS. And I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. Yeah. I think we will have one stronger, like, commander-like enemy. Who would we make that, though? I think we should make him promoted just to show him on the map. Maybe just this warrior. We turn this soldier into a warrior. Or, actually, I like this even more. We turn this archer into a sniper. And then he will, like, kind of incentivize you to kill the frontliners so you can get to him and kill him. Let's try that one. So this guy we will turn into a sniper. Like level 2. And let's see what weapon we can give him. Probably not all that strong of a weapon. You did fight some stronger enemies last map. Or the last two maps, but you had Shinona and Gatri alongside you. And they were more so limited and very specific, so let's see what we can give him. Bright bow. Ooh, a long bow. Ooh, that's evil. That's evil. I'm not sure I want to do that. Maybe I'll just give him a steel bow. I do remember I have the really heavy bows. I think I'll just give him a steel bow for now. I can just make him a bit slower. Take the steel bow. Oh. Right, keep that guy. And then on the other side, we can also just add a new character here, honestly. Physical. I kind of like the idea of, once again, a scary 2-range enemy, so maybe we'll add a wizard here. Or a sage. With, again, the incentive being you gotta kill that guy first. I like that idea. Here. And I think we can just change one of these guys, or... No, we'll add a new character. Add spawn. Copy, paste. And I do gotta check the character ID here because I am pretty sure... Oh, I have to look through these. There is a Dane Sage here. Yeah, Sag1, that's what they're called. Actually, Mag1. Is there a regular one too? Here. Dane Sage. No. We'll do that one. And we'll make it a... Guy fucked up on the rename here. Fire Sage. Because there's so many different classes here. Wizard. I think it was Wizard, right? Classes. It's super confusing. Oop. So these are pure mono mages, yeah, and then wizard is the one that can wield all three. I think that's wrong. I think I wanted to phase those out. Because I wanted to make it just sages. Yeah, these are the ones I was thinking of. Yeah, but I gotta use one of these ones. Yeah, that's what it was, I think. Because there's like enemy. Yeah, so should probably rename these. These are just the regular mages. And a mono mage. Mage. Because I have regular sages which are able to use everything. Yeah, I'm on Pop OS. My idea was, instead of making it between knives or staves, you always get knives and then you have to choose between the other two anima types and staves. But I guess it doesn't really matter for this guy, does it? Soren has wind. Let me remember the weapon triangle. Wind is effective against fire, right? I think that's what it was. So let's, just to make this a bit easier on Soren. There's a female one. Make it a fire sage. Yeah. I think this should be the correct class. Sage RF. What number was it? 66, yeah. We'll do that, and I think we'll give them an... They're not called Elfire, right? They are called Gigafire, I think, in this one. In the internal files. No, that's the characters here. No. Which one was... I guess Gigafire... Oh, that was Arcfire for Radiant Dawn. That was called Gigafire. Yeah, we'll give him an L-Fire tone. And then we'll place him... right here, essentially on the other side. Level 2. Gotta change this guy's PID as well. It'll take me a bit to get back into all of this. I can tell you guys right now. SMP, okay. Yo, what's up, Download? I am trying to work on Chapter 8, but it's been so long since I worked on it. I need to really take a look at and adjust everything. Hello, Con100. Soren fire only because everything thinks he's... Oh, Soren is your wind mage. I'm putting back in mono mages, and then they can choose between knives and staves or knives and the other two animas on promo. And I gotta remember the sequence stuff as well. What was the one for unit standing still? Oh boy, it's been so long since I looked at it. No attack, no move, I think. So we do no move on these guys? Or do we just do attack? If you're in attack... So this is 1.5, so if you're between 1.5 tiles of attack range, they will move. There was one which moved just if he's in attack range. Just unit move. Is it just attack, one range move? Let me check out a previous map. It is weird that I think Braum is unironically one of the cutest designs in the series. I wouldn't call it cute. I would say that Braum has a great design though. No, move, attack, range move. Yeah, it's called attack, range move. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, we'll change these to attack, range move. So they will only move if you get into their range. And since they also have special PIDs, I don't even need to make new ones for them, since there's only one Sage and one Sniper here. Okay, so we have made that. And then honestly, after that, I think we should probably just try the map out. And see how it is right now, if you see how the feeling is right now. I didn't do that. Okay, let's try it. Spare and hope. Member for 17 months, only 7 more until 2 years. Well, thank you, Playing Peak Callum, for supporting me like that. Yeah, and I'll try this without supports. As you can see, the supports aren't in yet. And as you can also see, in vanilla, some of these characters have very, very little supports. I don't think we really need to change anything here. Why is Titania there? Let me fix that first. Why is Titania... She has the same ID. Let me change the event ones. No, that's Event Titania. Event boss. How does this look compared to that one? Yeah, there should be a character here. Huh. These two slots are changed for whatever reason. I think it has something to do with her ending up here in the event. Yeah, so I guess we can just change one of the spawns to be here. I don't want to work on the event right now. And we'll put Soph there, okay. You guys couldn't see that, but we'll see the change in a second. File save. This game is very haunted, very creepypasta coded. That's just coding in general sometimes, I feel. Let's see if that fixed it. Yeah, that fixed it. And we can choose absolutely everybody. Beautiful. So that works. I got the physic I gave last chapter. Yeah, we got the Dory Lance. How much did I make that? 3 defense and res, yeah, okay. The heals here, the ward, we can give that to Alincia, I suppose. We cannot give that to Alincia. It's rank C, wow. I guess I'll give it to Kilroy. Yeah, we'll just try the map as is right now. Because I think these guys will be very, very weak as it is right now. When does the hack release? I am trying to release it in 2026, but keep in mind, I am the only one actually working on the code. And I am also just human, so it will take, hopefully this year. Is Alincia still a game over condition? No. She's gonna be an additional early healer, like a backup healer. And she starts unpromoted now as a healer. She can't attack. And the idea was, if she dies before Clash, then she comes back in Clash as a free pre-promote still, but she's gonna be weaker. Kinda like a bonus life. Maybe we just worry about these guys first. What's that guy's range? Oh, okay, that guy's range is actually a bit too high. I think maybe I'll move him right here. Because he will attack you if you're in range, but this is way too close to the player right now. And if you're unaware, this is pretty much how this goes. You take a look at the map, check things out. Are you adding any new playable units? You can check, I can briefly show it again. These are the new supports we have, and the new units are Nedata, Heather, Vika, Volug, Nealucci, Oliver, Homasa, Tominami, Petrine, Ludwig, Renak, or Renning, Sigrun, and Anna. And they will have full supports as well. I do have the rule of no OCs, so you will not see OC characters here. You will, however, see stuff like this, where I'm making bosses or previously NPCs playable. Okay. Base playable Anna. For Anna, my idea was, at several points in the game, you will be able to recruit Anna or choose not to. And depending on when you recruit her, she will have a different class, kind of adjusting to what you may need. So if you're, for example, lacking in healers, you may want to say no to her and then wait until she becomes a healer. And maybe she'll have, like, between 1 or 2 classes available. Oh, 5 memberships from Professor Squeaky Teats! Oh, and he hit himself. Amazing. Be sure to thank him if you got one. Yeah, but I think we removed both of these. We hit a save. We reset. Didn't get one. There's always next time. I got myself... Apparently you did, man. I didn't even know that worked. Okay. Let's just start it. And playing Peak since 20! Thank you, man. Thank you. Callum the GOAT. Oh, he's hitting all the people. All the regulars. And even some non-regulars. But yeah, so now he has range until here, which I think is much more fair. It actually requires you to run in. Davis is lurking? You don't need to be lurking to even get it. The gifting is very weird. You can have watched 30 seconds of me like a week ago, and if you're lucky, you can still get a membership from that. Still didn't get one. Ah, be sure to thank Callum if you got one. Thanks, Callum, man. Greg Hangrise, a Paysander. So yeah, I think these are pretty fine. For starters, I think we're just gonna lure them in a bit. We do have the hammer, so I want to see Boyd do pretty well with that. Everybody can now spam the emotes, so true. Keep everybody else right here. Tanya, how does she do? Yeah, she's a bit too strong for this, even with the Dory lands. I mean, the Tiamat axe, which I think I will just make a great axe, is still pretty good for chipping. Never played Tellius. Will this patch make it worth it? Yes, my entire idea is I will make Smellius no longer smell. And there goes another 5 memberships from Professor Squeaky Tits! If you got one, be sure to thank those squeaky tits. Amazing birds, by the way. More green. 33 watching, 30 total. Bro, still didn't get it. Oh my god, Samson, you poor man. I'm gray blessed. So true. Before I ask, are there any FE11, FE12 hacking tools? Yes, they are, but they're pretty much limited to nightmare modules and figuring stuff out by hex editing. I've done a little bit of it over the years, but it is not easy, to say the least. Yeah. Must be karmic retribution for leaving a pizza in the oven too long last night. I'm still mad at myself for wasting good food. Happened to me as well before. One thing that happened to me once was, I was like, when I was living alone, I was very tired, but I was also very hungry. So I was like, okay, I'll just put a pizza in the oven. Put a pizza in the oven. My oven doesn't have a timer. I usually just put an alarm on my phone. But my oven doesn't have a timer. And then I lay down and I fall asleep. And then I wake up, like 8 hours later. I'm like, what is smelling so burnt? And then I enter the kitchen and it's completely full of smoke. And I was like, oh fuck, oh fuck. I looked in, the pizza was completely black. It was just like charcoal. There was a guy on FEU working on a hacking suite. Yeah, that was hard, Hero. I tried to get in contact with him many times over the years, but it just didn't work out. He's just keeps going away. You're welcome, Chillstone. Holy shit. Time to time out Chillstone for no reason. Nah. Enjoy it, Chillstone. These guys are definitely too weak. Let me take a look at how I changed their stats in the previous chapter. That's 3 extra defense, I think. Did I not change their stats? That must be wrong. No, I did change some of their stats. They're like level 10, level 7 here. Surely I changed more of their stats. Yeah, this guy... Oh, I added like a couple of warriors, but then I mostly kept the stats the same, I guess. These guys I made tougher. That's Titania. Yeah, I did definitely make some of these tougher. I really, really wish we finally get the update for Paragon this year, where instead of it saying unknown, it actually tells you what it does, because we know what it does, it's just not in the UI yet. Thane, if you're watching this, please add it in, man. Did I miss a stream, or are we getting 2 shower patches at some point in the future? You are getting 2. I originally was working on FE10, but I realized that FE9 will be easier to do. Will not take as long. Will probably generate a bit of hype after it's released, and will make it easier for me to coordinate what I want in FE10 and what I don't. So I will be working on FE9 first, and FE10 shower patches sit on hold until then. And I really hope I'm able to get some more work into this one. Is this tool open source? I think it is, yeah, it's on GitHub. It's just I don't know enough about programming to really do anything like that. Like, I'm a noob, or I say noob when it comes to programming. I do know a little bit, but it's like... it's not all that much. I learn by doing, essentially. Alright. I do definitely feel like these guys are too weak. I think the starting level is probably fine, but... I mean, you are supposed to do some heavy damage with the hammer, but... I think as it is right now, yeah, these guys are still just way too strong. Boyd can essentially just solo this entire side, and that is not how it's supposed to be. I'll have a reason to go through FE9 again. I'll keep an eye on this as well. You can join the dev server in the description. There's more info and, you know, little teasers here and there. Okay, I also gotta remember, so... I think the first 3 here were inconsequential, and then if I change this one... Let's change this one to 0.8, so that should be 8 more HP. As a professional programmer with a job, the entire field has devolved into AI prompting. If it is programmed in C++ though, I know of 2 very good sources to learn. There's plenty of sources to learn. I don't think it's C++. I think it was something else. The issue is more so that I don't really have the time to properly learn coding right now. I'd rather just learn by doing it, kind of. For now, at least. Because I feel like I've learned more programming from just working on this than from actually looking at a programming tutorial. And I am also very weird in such that it took me to... I needed to understand hex editing and like ASM first before I could actually understand C++ and all those higher tier languages. I need to know the basics first, essentially. It felt like I didn't know the basics and just tried to jump in right in. But I kind of understand a little bit of hex stuff. Perfect Saga music peak, indeed. Yeah, I gotta test again which one of these was which stat. I think that one was HP. Wanted to drop and see how you were doing, how the patch was going, but sadly I have to go. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you for checking by, Xander. The fucking music stop. I hate when YouTube does that. Sometimes YouTube will just be like, video paused, continue watching, and then you have to click on the tab and go, yes, I want to continue watching. I am listening to a music playlist. Please do not stop every couple of minutes. I hate it, man. Okay. Yes, indeed, that is the correct value. Okay. Let's see, we can just start. I want to see how much damage he does. I also love it when I loop a song and a loop just stops working randomly. Yeah, YouTube is just becoming worse and worse, man. It is so horrible. Yeah, see, okay, this is probably much better. You can still deal quite a bit of damage. I probably want to increase their other stats a little bit too. But with this, you can still one-shot them with a hammer. In fact... Oh, it does require quite a bit of strength from Void, though. I noticed a little Soph. Yep, I'm adding him to the Gryle Mercs. He also has the Stiletto, so you can take a look. Like, with the knife, he does no damage. The Stiletto actually allows him to deal with armors relatively well and makes him kind of more useful. He also doesn't have Blossom anymore. Got 3 ads before jumping on stream. YouTube has lost the mandate of heaven. I've set it to where it will show you an ad just about every 30 minutes, and usually that works pretty well. But you know how YouTube is. It just doesn't really care what your settings are. How much does somebody like Ike do with a regular weapon? Yeah, okay, so their defense is fine. I probably do want to give this... Will you adjust the story too? Yes. I will be doing a comprehensive story rewrite. We only have the first couple of chapters right now, but we will do it eventually. It's... if you're willing to help, please check out the game dev server. We're only like... I'm the only one actually working on the code. And then we have one very, very talented support writer who has his hands full with formatting the supports right now. And then we have one story writer in Samson, but he's been a bit busy with Berwick, so... and then ATM also helps me a bit. Yeah, okay. So, I think their defense is probably fine. I do... Let's see how Soren does here. I do think I should lower their resistance still. The enemies at this point get a little bit of resistance points, which kinda just makes Soren feel even worse than he really is. So I think I will change that, and that is... Let me check the order here. That would be, so the first value, or let me check it like this. You don't see my second monitor, but... So, I can still explain it. So, this one is HP, this one is Strength. I think we can give him, like... actually, 8 Strength is fine, probably. Magic doesn't matter. Skill, I think we can give him a little bit more skill. Let's just give him 4 more skill. Then we have Speed. Speed doesn't matter on them. Luck. Luck doesn't matter on them. Defense doesn't matter. And then we do Res. But for Res, we want to make it negative. So we count backwards from FF. So FF is 1. In Hex, it's the... What was it? Signed? Was it a signed or an unsigned integer? I keep mixing the two up. But the last 128 numbers are the negatives. FF is 1, F2 is -2, and then FD should be -3. We'll do FC. Actually, we'll do FB. This is -5 points. This should mean that pretty much all of them for sure will have 5 less resistance. Because I want pretty much all of these guys to have much less resistance. which will make it easier for Soph to deal with them. I think we just add that to everybody right now. And then we adjust again. I do kinda want to make it a little bit less enemy phase focused. That is one of the goals. Like, your defensive stats are generally a bit lower. That's a boss. But it's very, very difficult. Because I'm essentially going through every chapter one by one, replaying it a gazillion times, and seeing if it works. My changes work out. It can stay for now. That one can stay. And we'll just worry about the initial enemies here first. And we'll worry about the reinforcements later. Okay. We made that change. Let's see how the enemies look like right now. Lunch break gotta go. Alright, see ya, Professor Squeaky Tits! And thank you for the donos, man. Hate whenever that I got added to a bunch of places. I sometimes enjoy having music or streams playing in the background, and it sucks to have it pause while I'm doing other... Exactly, man. Exactly. That is what I genuinely hate. It used to didn't do that, and I'm pretty sure there's not an option to turn it off either. I do like it sometimes, like if you're the type of person who likes to watch some videos before going to sleep. Then it works pretty well, I think, to make sure you don't, you know, fall asleep. No more tits, it's so over. Indeed it is. But if you're just looking to listen to music, then it is quite annoying. And speed. Yeah, 10 speed should be fine. Couldn't double anyone here. Other than Riz, but that's fine. Yeah. Let's just... Oop. We'll do another small test here. Tiamat. Oh, I think Soph is dead. Whatever. Actually, no, those archers can't reach you. See the roundabout damage numbers. So Boyd still massacres these guys with a hammer. My Boyd, however, got some good strength levels. I did increase his strength growth a bit, but I do feel like to make sure that he pretty much always one-rounds these guys, I will reduce their HP a little bit. Let's say by maybe just 3 or 4 points. Let's do 4. Let's do 4 for these. Okay. Use for all the armors. This is the only and, well, also kind of the best way to change generics to adjust their stats without having to, like, go into the character and adjust it there. Okay, so that should be fine, because even without the hammer, if you didn't get it, the damage output is still not bad at all. And now Soren can actually do a little bit of good damage on these guys with his wind tomes, and I think pretty much none of them have a rest stat, and the ones who do are just like, well, for now, the commanders, but also like the mages, but even those have a bit less res, and the priests, so I think that's fine. Scenario. I'm using all the Japanese names for now, though I think I will change that later. I feel like these guys may still just be a little bit too strong. I think for the calves, I'll probably reduce the max HP by 4, and then maybe reduce their defense as well. Defense is second to last. They're around 8. Maybe just reduce it by like 2 points. 2 or 3 points. Or actually, maybe I just keep it at 8? No, I still reduce the HP, I think. I reduce the HP, and then we do minus... Let's do minus 2 points. So, FE... Or let's do minus 3. Try this one for all the casts. That... We have the archers. How are these looking? They're pretty accurate, which honestly I think I'm fine with that. I do feel like I should probably reduce their HP a little bit as well. Yeah. I think it's fine if the archers are just a little bit more squishy. We'll do minus 3 HP on both of those. Like Kevin. Yeah, Kieran is named Kevin, and then I think every version but the Japanese one. Or no, it's in the German one he's also called Kevin. I think Kieran is only in the English version actually. But don't quote me on that. Right, so we have that. Reduce those. These guys, they're actually quite low. They're more like mercenaries. Which maybe that's fine. Maybe we just keep him like this guy is definitely like a mercenary. He has a steel blade, like strength. I mean, he's gonna hit hard, I guess, but you know what? Maybe we do make this guy just be like a kind of like a mercenary. So we increase his strength by 5 points. This guy's pretty strong. And then we keep. I mean, his speed doesn't really matter. His speed will be. Actually, his speed will matter. We will do FC... FD. 3 points less. With that, his speed should still be at just about that, but he will hit pretty hard. And then the guy right here will keep a bit stronger too. We'll give him 3 more points, so he can actually wield the steel sword. But he will still get weighed down by it, I think. Yeah, he'll have 8 speed, so with 8 speed he can't really W. Let's maybe give this guy like a weaker weapon. Just give him an iron sword. In fact, maybe just a slim sword. I think I did adjust slim swords a bit. Let me double check that. I think we can remove that. What did I do with slim swords? Yeah, 20 crits, but less might. I think I'm honestly fine with that. We can give him a slim sword. And then he will do like 10 damage. With that, yeah, that should be fine. 10 damage. Magic, skill, speed. Let's also give him 4 more speed. So this guy's pretty fast, and he can probably double at least a few of your units. Let's go with 15 speed. But his damage output will be pretty pitiful. Next we check the mages. Mages deal 11 damage, 10 to 11. They won't be able to double. They, in fact, will probably be doubled by everybody. Most units here have at least a little bit. I feel like this guy should probably just maybe be a bit more magical, yeah. And not be weighed down. We'll give both of them more strength, so they can actually wield their tome. We'll give him... let's say 4 points of magic. Their speed, I think, is fine. We'll give him 1 more. We'll give him 1 more. And I think we will reduce their HP by 4 points as well. So then we'll use that for our mages. Next we check the fire sages. Fire sage. 17. I do think we need to increase this guy's damage output a bit. We increase it by 3 points. And we'll make him a bit on the slower side, I think. Actually, I guess we can just make him faster. And just keep him be weight down. We can give him the same amount of strength, or maybe like... We'll give him 3 points of strength. HP pool was fine, I think. Points of skill. And we'll give him 3 points of speed. That should be fine. For now. The sniper. So he can actually wield his bow without any problems. I do think 11 defense is pretty high. So we will... Which one was it? That one's res, okay. We will also reduce his res a little bit, I think. Because he has like 8. And then defense, I think we will also reduce by like, maybe not quite 5 points, we'll do 4 points. Luck, speed. He can be fast, honestly. Skill, he can be accurate. This magic. This is strength. I think I do want to reduce his strength by like maybe 1 or 2 points. Let's do 2 for now. And his HP pool. Wait, is that correct? Hold on. No, I'm increasing his magic. Or reducing his magic. Yeah, now it should be correct. So we do this for now, and then we check back in. We start. I do notice, I think you do hear my keyboard in this particular screen, but I do have noise gate on. I don't think you normally hear it, but I think you do hear it in the development streams for some reason. The clickety-clackety. Yeah. Do something like this. We can even leave Rolf in range. It adds to the atmosphere of coding, if you think so. Oh right, I reduced the durability of the hammers as well. To make them a bit more interesting. Aww. Well, the hammer has fallen in durability. Okay, let's see now. So yeah, Boyd still massacres these guys with the hammer. And he does have barely enough strength to wield it without penalties. But he does really well against these guys. And then these dudes... I think this Rolf is pretty strong. Actually, no, he's not even that strong. I guess the bow is just strong. Ah, these guys hit weight down, I think. Yeah, that's what it is. That's why he doubles them. These guys do as well, though. Oh, everybody here gets weight down. 13. These guys are very weak. I think I do need to increase their strength by like maybe 2 points. Here. We'll do 2 points for each, I think. They do feel pretty weak. And these guys do? 18, 16, 22. You could probably increase the strength of these guys a bit as well, but I feel like it almost would probably just encourage... it would probably just encourage you to tank it. So maybe this is just fine for now. Because if Soren just gets a bit lucky with his levels and then gets an adept proc or something, he does just one round them. I do wonder if I can just push through here. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so this Boyd is very, very strong. And I think a bit lucky with speed as well. So he hits very hard. And this is honestly how Boyd is supposed to be. He's supposed to hit hard, but if he does get hit back, it doesn't take him all that much to die. And I think we just kind of put... Oh, Titania, right. You can't reach. You also need to block this off. Maybe this was a bad idea. I think we do kind of have to try and get some damage in and then put probably Titania in there. Locust Bow, was Rolf's Bow a thing in Path of Radiance? Yes, it was. It was. I did increase pretty much the stats of every single bow in the game. And the effective weapons, look. The way I went about doing it is I kept the double effectiveness because we don't know how to change it. And because I actually kind of like it, I just increased the damage and made it much lighter, so they're actually weapons, but the durability is lower. These are still worse than using silver weapons against regular enemies, but better than using silver weapons against effective enemies. Hey, Donald in chat. Hello, hero. Actually, maybe Soren just... maybe he just takes it, actually. Maybe that is fine. We'll just see how it goes, I think. How's the grind going? Going alright. I think we just leave Ike here. Regal Sword. And then I keep Titania here. How much damage does Mia take here? Yeah, she can't reliably do this. So I think we just leave it like this. Do some damage there. And then I think, what was it? Yeah, Elincha was the tanky healer. Or the tankier healer. Received vulnerary, of course. I don't think I like that vulnerary there, actually. Yeah, with the Tiamat axe, she's getting weight down so much. Yeah, and these sword guys actually do deal damage to her, so I think the strength change was just fine. It's just the javelin guys whose damage output is very, very low. And this is only when she gets weight down heavily, so I think it's fine. It's a longbow. Longbow is still kind of a joke, honestly. And if you get Soph this early, he's kind of alright, honestly. Still think we kind of want to go with the idea that you would try to focus one of these down. So we will play a little bit on the defensive on this side and then try to go on the offensive on the other side, on the left side. Yeah. Beautiful. I love Soph actually being useful. If he joins you so early, it's so nice. I probably do need to heal him, right? What if I... same thing with Rolf. If you have him just a bit earlier, and he actually gets EXP... okay, to be fair, damage output is like +2, I think, compared to what these normally do. But even then, it's so nice. You actually get to train him, you actually get to give him levels. He's no longer complete and utter dog shit. I think we do gotta get Titania in there. Gotta clear out some enemies. Boy does need to go back and heal. Yeah, I think we put Ike here, we heal him up. Then we block the other side, maybe with Oscar. Ah, that doesn't even work. So I guess we do it with Mia. Just keep the Iron Sword. Elincha can heal him. Boyd does need to go back and get a heal in as well. And then we kind of just keep you right here. Now, to be fair, this will just be the first draft of the chapter. It will be reworked a bit, like all the numbers will be tweaked when we get further into development and get some more testers in. But just for a first draft, it kind of has to do what I want it to. And I can tell you right now, I will need help for the eventing. I must go, my planet needs me. Alright, see ya, Callum. And see ya, Samson. Nice to have you here. Okay, they all just didn't even attack him because they're all on heal AI. I'm not sure I like that. I mean, on one hand, it is kind of nice because they become more of a threat since you don't want to take on all of them at once. And you kind of... But it also just encourages you to get like one strong unit and just solo them. But I guess I can do that as well with the Regal Blade. If he's tanky enough. I wonder if I should keep their heal AI. Actually, it's probably fine if they do. Let's see, Iron Sword guy. I think we can probably... Yeah, that guy we can work on pretty well. I must go, my planet needs me. Oh, I messed that up. I should have grouped the other one first. Wow, Boyd. I was gonna say, why are you so accurate? Because he has a Steel Blade and it's 0 avoid, which, again, I think it's fine for this one. And we can even get Soren in here. It's better to make the changes more drastic and noticeable at first, rather than changing very little not to receive any feedback. Yeah, that is very true, actually. You're absolutely right. Let's go, Soph. Soph contribution. Yeah, Dory X, Dory Lance is fine here, that's beautiful. And I think if I move right here, yeah, she's just about in range, and with the Dory Lance, she should be fine. This is 23 damage. She will take that, yeah. With the Dory Lance, she gets a little bit more defense and res. And I can probably just stay there. We can try Lofa for this one. And if both of his brothers are nearby, he does get a lot of crit. So that is one of the reasons why you may want to use him. And I think at this point, maybe we just put Boyd at the bottom, and then we grab Ileana there. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We can heal up the last little point of HP. And then we just move him here, he gets a little bit of crit from that. Heal up Oscar as well while we're at it. Okay. Oh, there's still a Javelin guy left. It takes him so long to get healed. Which maybe that's fine? It's probably more annoying than not, though. Yeah, because their heal AI is not at 50%, it's more like 80%. Also, I'll definitely playtest this, maybe do 2 FE9 playthroughs at the same time, one with the base game and one with the patch, do a chapter in each one and write down what I liked, noticed. That would be great. I already have the first couple of chapters playable. On the game dev server with an instruction on how to set up a testing environment. And I have a thread on Discord on the server with where you can note down your thoughts or feedback on every specific chapter. Get Ileana. I think. Yeah. The Tiamat Axe, you can deal with this guy pretty easily. I do feel like the enemies here were a little bit front-loaded still. I haven't played Tellius at all, so that may be an interesting perspective. I'm not sure if you want to do it then. Because, so the idea is, you know, Tellius has, in the Japanese version, it has Maniac mode, which is the super hard mode, which is the only thing that makes it fun to play, I think. Hard mode on the Western versions is way too easy. But Maniac mode has its own issues, which make it... It has its own issues, let me say it like that. So, it's kinda... It ends up being like, regardless what you'll do, there's always something wrong with it. FE9 less so than FE10, but FE10 especially is just very, very unbalanced. Which is why the initial idea for this was also just like, fix FE10. But what I'd really love is somebody who will help me with the events. Or the formatting. Those are probably the two things I'd like the most right now. More Rance music. Hey, you know, you can say about the Rance series what you want, but it does have a banger soundtrack. I get what you're... Yeah. I mean, you can still do that. I'm happy for any help. But I feel like... Actually, it might be pretty refreshing to still have somebody who plays it as a completely new player. These guys down south here, I think I definitely want to change their heal AI to 50% though. Because if I can do that, I'll check that out after the enemy phase. Because 80% or whatever they're at right now, it means like they need the double heal to get back into the action. Or I can just give that guy a Men's Stave. Honestly, I think I'll just give him a Men's Stave. Which I think is Relive, but let me double check that. And yeah, Relive Staff. Okay. I've changed that one. So this guy will have a Men's Staff instead. Which just means he heals them instantly. It's much, much nicer, I think. Yeah. And we try blasting through there. More speed. Heal on that guy. The 3 healers do feel pretty plentiful on this map, I gotta say, but it also means that you can do more action per turn, I think, because you don't need to worry so much about just standing still and healing, because it's by far the safest thing to do. So that would be 1 point obtained. And I guess theoretically you can just try to circle around the other side, but I'm not sure how smart that would be. You're not gonna play the Switch 2 version, you mean the objectively inferior version of the game? It's insane, it doesn't... I mean, you could see Speedwing's video on it, but the game doesn't have speed up. And they removed some stuff. You don't have playable Maniac mode. So it just ends up being a lot worse than it should be. Ugh. I mean, Elthlander does do more damage. Even if she is slower. Ooh. I think I want to give her a little bit more strength. I want to see you play the shittiest version of FE9. Well, I will not. There is only one Jav guy, so I guess I can keep him here. What did they do in Switch 2? Well, they ported the game, but the issue is Maniac mode is not present, and the game without Maniac mode is pretty boring. And then they didn't add speed up, and this game is known for being very, very slow. So it just will take you ages to play through. So and then you don't have the glitches that are exclusive on the Japanese version too, like being able to get 100 crit on a forged weapon, which I honestly don't care about that. But if you think about it, it is one less thing you can do in this version. So it is, for pretty much everybody involved, I think, it is an inferior version, other than the fact that if you don't know how to emulate, it is an easy way to play the game. But it's still, like, it is essentially just an emulator for the Switch 2 that allows you to play the game, so yeah. It added nothing. It is just an inferior way to play a game which you can already play relatively easily if you know even just a little bit of internet stuff. Nice. And he gets the longbow. this slim sword. Series barely get any attention for past games, and when they get it, it's like this. Yeah, it feels like an absolute joke. It feels like they genuinely don't care. And, you know, I'm not even asking for like, hey, we need a full-on remake with this new and that new. Just give me a nice quality of life version to play that is better to play than the original, but retains all the nice goodies from the original. Excuse me. Like, even if you don't just add a speed up function, you could, like, that is the easiest way to do it, right? Just add a speed up function. But you could also just say, hey, we're gonna speed up the animations a bit. Bam. Instantly, it's no longer an inferior version, even if some things are missing. It would be so easy to fix just a little bit of the game. Bless you, thank you. People gave access to source code and do nothing with it. This is what I find crazy, right? In the hacking community, you're literally scrounging for every little piece of code that, or like, that you can change. And we still make amazing things with that little tools available. But then you have Nintendo and they're like, hey, here's the entire source code for the game. Probably just, you know, here's the manual that was used to create the game as well. Like the design documents. Yeah, just don't do anything with it. And they're just like, yeah, okay, we have all the data available, we're gonna do absolutely nothing with it. Fuck you, players. That's what it feels like to me. Example soy emblem. Knowing Nintendo, they don't even know how to add speed up. To be fair, that's probably true. All FE4 needs, for example, is Civ 5-style multi-turn movement where you can command units to move across the map over several turns, then the game would be legit perfect. Like planning out your movement, yeah, I guess that would work. Right, so right now the chapter will end, which is a bit too early because I didn't change the victory condition yet. But I think at least for the initial enemies, the stats are fine. And I think we'll just do the same changes that we did on the regular enemies, on the reinforcements of the same class. Also more time player spends in the game. I guess, but it still feels like just, you know, in German we would say just hingerotzt, which is a very, very fancy or not so fancy way of saying they just spit it out, you know, they just snot it on the ground, and then there was the game. There's no real effort put into it. Fire Emblem games, except 3 houses, have so much replayability you really don't need to extend it artificially. Yeah, I agree. The games are already pretty long, and they just artificially make it a lot longer than it needs to be. Which ends up just making the games feel worse. Like, so many people, I remember hearing like how much they liked... Did Soren and Titania always stand still there, or like on the ground? That looks wrong. May have to check that out later. But yeah, I agree. Lagoozers. And they just blast through them like they're nothing. certain Titania take a hit before being on the ground. Ah, I don't think I ever noticed that. Yeah, I skipped a little bit of it. How slow Path of Radiance is? Yeah, it really is. Right, I'm not going to work on this chapter immediately, but I can tell you guys right now what we will have is Nidatha here will be playable. I'm going to have some Pegasus reinforcements, I think. Or maybe Wyverns. Morty and Lef will be playable from the start. No need to command them around as green or yeah, like yellow units. Enemies will be a bit stronger again, since you get some stronger units here. Okay. The previous chapter, let's do the changes. I think we gotta just take a look at them like this. Did you buff Nidatha or keep him as is? I haven't worked on that at all yet. Did Path of Radiance have no in-combat stats, such as hit, crit and stuff? It did not. Here's the thing though, the files are in the game, they just never bothered to like, enable it. It legit is not enabled, and to be fair, it's not entirely finished, but all you really have to do is just change some values around and it works. However, you still need to A, make it look nice, and B, position all the UI correctly, which we can actually do. Even with the tools we have available, we can do it. It's just nobody has done it yet. Nobody has gone through the trouble yet. I'm gonna do this for soldiers. But yeah, in vanilla, you don't have that. Let me check out the armors. And I do think we want to make the later... Oh, we want to make the later reinforcements stronger. In fact, maybe I just make it so the Burger King moves a turn every... or moves a tile every turn. Regardless of what you do. So even though you don't have a direct time limit, you have an indirect one. And if an enemy is in his way, you will just kill him and then move forward. I didn't change this soldier. Then we have the mage. Oh, these are also anima mages. I should probably just make fire mages. So they do just wield fire. And then this guy will make a fire mage. I'm not sure if their stats are changed in any way. Okay, so that's these guys. We do need to add certain somebody here. Characters. Where is the Burger King? Here, I actually named him Burger King. It's Event Burger King. Take regular Burger King. Actually, we'll take Kimura's data and put it over here, and then we put the Burger King in there. Burger King. which makes it feel even slower when I watch the video on it? Yes, it does. And the thing is, the game also does this weird thing where before each combat it will wait a couple of seconds before combat starts, which artificially makes the animations much longer. I have a little patch that has... what it does is it kind of just cuts those pauses out of the game, and that alone makes it like makes it a lot faster, like 33% faster, to the point where the battle animations are around as fast as the map animations, if not faster in some cases. It makes them feel super fast and snappy. Okay, we have the Black Knight here now. We're gonna put him... let's see, 8 turns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's probably fine. And I think how I should probably do this is... I should have him be on no move. Should have him be on no move, and then I will just move him via event. Oh, I can just keep these at 0. 20, of course. Doesn't need a ring. Or I guess I can keep that on him. Shoutouts to Khalil for no particular reason. Damn. And let me double check the AI here. Here, yeah. No move and no move attack 100. That's what they're called. No move attack 100 and no move. So he will attack if you are in his attack range, but he will not actually move. And I think I can also give him... I made this one item here. No move AI. Shows that the enemy has no move AI, yeah. I'm gonna give this into his inventory as well. It doesn't do anything by itself. It just means that he won't move around on his own. I think it's the only thing I really did for him. Yeah, no, it does give minus 25 moves, so he will have no move on his own, but then he will move via the event. That's the idea. And let's save that and see if it took in the changes. Okay, it still displays move for him. Renewal, Luna. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, he definitely one-shots. Or, well, one rounds Titania. I don't think there's any way for her to have even close to enough speed. Because I was thinking she can technically proc counter on him if she takes a round of combat. But no, she does not. I do want to check if the no move AI worked. So we'll just do this real quick. Yeah, okay, he doesn't move on his own. That is exactly how he should work. I do think I want to maybe place him one bit further down. Because by the time he is like right here, or right here, it's pretty much already game over. So I'll put him two spaces below. And then again, we need... I'll need the help of an event writer make him move and stuff, because I don't know, my head is already exploding from this. It's been so long since I worked on it, so. Does anybody know at what time Mangs is streaming tonight? Because I saw that he's no longer streaming the draft race with PH, because PH got like a tree knocked over and it doesn't have internet or electricity. But he's gonna do something else, so I'm not sure when that is. Is that at 20? Because I wanted to ideally stop like just about when he starts. Okay, but we have that then. We'll later need to change the dialogue and stuff. I think I can honestly just leave it as is for now. And then we can maybe make some more work. Because again, this is kind of just like a first draft. I want to get a first draft out of for all the little maps. These are the cutscene maps. And we have chapter 10 right here. Yeah, I think just to make it a bit faster, we will just conclude with that for now. There's still some other things that technically need to be done, but... okay. But we will just go over and try the next one. I want to make a little bit more progress on this hack. Because I will most likely start a new job soon and then have... well, I say less time, but I think I'll actually, despite having less time, I'll actually probably be working more on it because I'll be more bored in life. And that means you seek out stuff like this more. So it's 4 more characters that I need to add. I still kinda like the idea of not having to bench somebody yet. Let me check. I think in the map after this one, you can probably bench somebody because this is Gallia. Yeah, the next one is the prison map. I think on the prison map, you should probably be able to bench somebody. Because if you couldn't bench somebody now, what I feel will happen is you may just bench Mist, and you do need her for a recruitment here. I think it's probably just easier if I allow the player to use everybody here. That should also spread out the experience a bit more, instead of focusing it all on a couple of units. So we will attempt to make 4 more deployment slots. This is Ileana. Why is she not here though? Probably some eventing stuff. Is my chat frozen? No? Just nobody typing right now. Okay. Change these around a bit. So we need 4 new slots here. We'll just copy Titania 4 times. This will be Mist, Cleric, and we will put her right there, I guess. Lofa, Archer. Instead of getting them here, you get them a bit earlier. Then it was Erinchia Queen. What did I call it? Princess? Princess, yeah. And then the last one was Soph. Here's a thief. Okay, I'll put you right there. A bit further back. These are mostly deployment slots, not the characters themselves, so I don't think it really matters all that much. Like with this, we have them pretty spread out. Oh, Oh, I was wondering why this one is free. It's because Helintia was hidden inside of Titania. I don't know why it does that. So maybe I'll just have to move her here. I think what could maybe happen is Helintia moves in the cutscene, and because she moves in the cutscene, the game keeps her position instead of getting her back since she's now playable. But it's fine, we can change the deployment slots like this a bit. And then I think how I will do it is that for... where are they? And... Lofa, Marsha, Lef and Morty. I think what I will do is I will just make them blue. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just make them blue. It's probably... oh, yeah, you can't even make them yellow in here. I think I'll do it via event. Just make an event on turn 1 that makes them... but then the player may not know that they get them. Like, to control them fully. I guess I can just make him blue and force deployed. And then I kinda like the idea of Lef maybe being in the north. Let's just make him blue. We have Ike right here. 5. I think I make him force deployed by changing the script files. But I think they're probably more interesting if they're split up. So that is what we'll do. And then I need to disable Mist and Rolf spawning. Marsha can still spawn, that's fine. Oh, okay. Alright. Chapter 10. It's the village. What's the event called? It's easier if I just... it's BMAP M02 and M03. M02. Yeah, we'll just cut that one out, and M03, and we'll cut that one out as well. I may need to change some more stuff in here. Let's see if this works. If not, I'll just have to leave it for later, I guess. Dahlia. It's like -2 more. Yeah, because I need to change them out. They're in the wrong army, in the wrong spawn group. I gotta stop calling that event as well. I think I just gotta make him spawn there. Yeah. So we add an additional 2 deployment slots here. And we'll just copy the data for Lef and for Mordecai. Put Lef in here, Mordecai in there. That should make that easier. And then they have M05. I gotta disable that one too, I think. 05. Instant dispo. It's final position. Yeah, I just comment that one out. Let's try that again. I think I'll probably stream it until 20 o'clock and then I'll make a redirect over to Mang's stream. Oh dear god. They're still down there. Oh, I think they move in the cutscene, that's what it is. Oh my god. It's gonna take ages to fix, I hate that. You know, maybe I just leave it here, then. I don't want to bother going through all of that right now. It's a mini-stream, but you know, that's what these hacking streams are. Very spontaneous, sometimes very small. And I think I'm relatively happy with the amount of progress I made so far. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'll leave it at that. Let me check out the redirect. Wait, did the chat? Is chat not showing for me? No? Let me double check that. I've been wondering where chat was for like a couple of minutes now. No. Chat is just empty, okay. Yeah, let me check where Mang's stream is. Redirect. I love how I'm seeing Oops XCOM 2 Iron Man stream from like ages. In like 2 years in the future. Is Max not streaming today? Chat is not chat. Yeah, I figured. Is he not streaming today? Didn't he say he was gonna stream something else today? No? I guess not. Huh. Huh. Interesting. I do think I'll still leave it here. I'll still make it a short stream. Probably just hasn't set up a new stream. Because I recall him saying he wanted to... The community post was edited to no longer say he streamed. Oh, okay, I see. I was confused by that. That's fine. I do still feel like I've done a little bit of work today. It's enough to get back into it. Yeah. And then next time, I guess we'll work a little bit more on this. Or maybe I'll just work a little bit on it on my own, because I think I want to eat something. So I'll head off. Next streams, there's probably one stream I'll do on Tuesday and one I'll do on Thursday. I still haven't decided. There is still a German Berwick stream I promised that I've been very much annoyed about constantly being asked when it is by a certain somebody. So I'm not sure if I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that on one of those days. Or maybe I'll just do that one on, like, Sunday. Next Sunday, that could work. If we do it next Sunday, actually, yeah, so... But, in any case, Tuesday, Thursday, streams. And then maybe an additional one on Sunday, we'll see. And, if you guys saw... since Davis lost his Radiant Dawn Iron Man, he and I will be doing Shadow Dragon next Saturday. So keep your eyes out for that, because that'll be fun. Anyways, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!